Hi everyone, happy Sunday or snowy Sunday if it's snowing by you. I wanted to do a video because I've said that I've got something really exciting this weekend to announce and that I've been working on, and not so much of a hard thing to do and create, but hard to get the right things out there. So one of the things that I'm hugely passionate about and I'm huge on, and I talk to all of the people I work with about, is a positive mindset and the difference that that can have. And I know that it's really hard sometimes to have that positive mindset. So I sat there and I was like, okay, how can we do this? How can I help everyone with this? So not just people that are on my Calm Conception programme or that have had hypnotherapy or are going and seeking help somewhere else by someone else. How can we do it? And some people don't feel comfortable to say, well, I struggle to get myself into a really positive mindset. Or some people have a generally really positive mindset, but have the days where we waver a little bit and, we forget what there is to feel positive about. Because when you're trying to conceive, we do have those days. So I wanted to create something that was just easy, that could help people with like positivity and affirmations. And affirmation cards are a really popular thing, and milestone cards. So there's loads for like your pregnancy, when baby's born, there's some for like IVF and IUI. But when I really researched, there's not that many, and it's not that big of a thing for them trying to lead up to pregnancy. So there's almost like two categories, like trying to get pregnant, and then when you're pregnant. There doesn't seem like anything in between, or when you've been trying to get pregnant for a while. And I know that quite a few people say, infertility isn't only when you're going through like IVF or IUI, it's when you're trying to get pregnant every single month and it's just not happening. And infertility and the heartache and the heartbreak is the same, no matter whether it's that you've been trying 1 month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whether you've had IVF, whether you haven't. No matter what you feel, no matter what you're going through, whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling, and nobody suffers more than anybody else, because it's all how we feel, our experience and our stories. And I wanted something that everybody could use generically, so in that period and transition where you're trying naturally, and whether it be that you then go on and have IVF or IUI or use a donor or surrogate or whatever it may be, but there just doesn't seem much for the first stage. And it's almost as if like there's a qualifying mindset of like, oh well, you're not really struggling unless you're having to have IVF, or you've done this, or this has happened to you, and it's BS, it's rubbish. So I wanted to try and do something that could work for everybody, and just something like little reminders. So I started to look into fertility affirmation cards. That would be suitable for people whether they've been trying 1 year, a month, 6 months, 5 years or 10 years. And the idea sounds great, but when you start to look at how many you want and how many is going to be in the set and what you want to put on them, that's when it becomes difficult, because it's all about us, our mindset, our body, our belief, because affirmations are what we believe. And if we say them to ourselves enough each day, it's what we believe. And if you watch my videos before, you'll know that I talk a lot about, what we think we attract, what we say we believe, how are we talking to ourselves generally when we're struggling with fertility and infertility and something's happened and it's not quite going how we want, regardless of time scale. We can be quite horrible to ourselves, quite harsh on ourselves. And I make no secret of the fact that, I kicked myself around the floor. I was the worst person on myself ever. I was my worst critic. I was so angry with myself. I made myself and branded myself a failure. I couldn't see how anything was going to work. And there wasn't so much out there at the time. I'm not going to say help, because I think in the form of help that we're entitled to, no matter what country, generally isn't amazing. You know, in the UK, we are lucky that if you meet the criteria, you can get your IVF, but it's still very much a postcode lottery. And that's if you even meet the criteria. So, for example, we met the criteria and got one cycle funded, which we were really grateful for. But that was at our address, and if I would have used Mark's parents' address and lived there, which was a few miles away, we'd have got 3 cycles funded. So in the UK, we are lucky that if we meet the criteria, we have that, but it's still very much a postcode lottery, and it's still, you've got to meet the criteria. And to meet the criteria is quite hard. You know, if you've got children from a previous marriage or relationship, or your weight is not a certain BMI, or you're not in a certain age bracket. Well, yeah, so anyway, I digress. But we're lucky, but I mean as in like, when you go to have your appointments and people are saying, how are you? And this is how you can remain positive. This is what you can do to help with calmness. And these are things that you can change. And this is the diet you need to do. And this might be a detox. And this is what you can do to look at ovulation and actually really go away and have a look at how you can boost that naturally, and how you can track that and track this and track that. And I just don't think there's the in-depth stuff. So we don't get that. So we're certainly not going to get like all the positivity. So affirmations is something that I've done for a while. I introduced them to Remy. So we talk a lot about what we're grateful for and what we are. So I am. And every day I'll say something. So it has to be something positive about yourself. And you can repeat it to yourself as many times as you like. I do it out loud because it has more of a meaning to me that way. But whether you do it out loud, whether you do it in your head, the thought of starting your day off that way and feeling positive about yourself and whatever you're going through at the time can make a huge difference. So I decided that I was going to do these affirmation cards. And it's a set of 16. It's available as a PDF copy, and it's also available as physically done and sent to you, so in your hand. And they are all around ourselves and pregnancy. And putting ourselves in the mindset to become pregnant. So I will pop some pictures up as well later, but there's going to be 16 in the pack, and I'm just doing some snippets of 2. I don't want to obviously show all of them because that's going to completely ruin the surprise when you order yours. So they're £10 as a PDF copy, and that will be emailed over to you, or they're £17.50 to purchase and have them mailed, and obviously postage on top. So let me know if you want them outside the UK and I can have a look at postage for that. So £10 for the PDF and £17.50 plus postage for the hard copy. So I've got 2 just to show you. So pineapple, obviously we all know what that's got to do with fertility, and I'm a huge believer in that. And this one, for example, is I am an amazing woman and know that I will be an amazing mother. So you imagine starting your day like this and saying that to yourself. And I am an amazing woman and I will be an amazing mother. So these are some of the ones that will be sent out. So they're laminated for durability. We haven't got to worry about them getting stained or wet or spilling our tea on them, or, you know, it being paper or card and then ripping or tearing. So they're all laminated, very durable. You know, they're going to last. And this one, so all the same sort of format, but just different positionings and coloured messages. And so this message, for example, is I trust in my body. My body knows exactly what it needs to do to conceive a healthy baby. So if you imagine starting your days like this and reading these messages to yourself, of the way that that's going to put your mind and your mindset and how it's going to improve. And we genuinely start to think and believe this. Now, I'm not going to say that that's going to change any physical diagnosis and everything's going to be like that and you're going to get pregnant tomorrow. I'm not saying that. And I wouldn't claim that. But what I do know from my own clients is the difference that this has. And I know that there's people out there that go, oh, you know, I've got a diagnosis of this, of that. If you haven't seen my video from last week, go and have a look at the story about one of my clients who was told it's now or never. she's at a younger age as well. So to be told that at a younger age, she'd got the pressure of that, the pressure of it's now or never. And it just wasn't happening for her. No matter what she did, no matter what she tried, no matter what she bought. And we did some work and some coaching and hypnotherapy, and she's pregnant. Now, she said, not me, the difference in her mindset and the calmness and just the reassurance that she felt, just felt like she could concentrate on everything else rather than, you know, spinning all the plates of, well, I need to try and be positive and I need to feel calm, but I don't need to, but I'll just pretend that I do. And I need to buy this ovulation test and I need to buy this pregnancy test and I need to make sure I'm tracking this. And, oh, what was my temperature that day? And should we do the baby making stuff that day or that day? So it just starts to eliminate some of that and bring some calm. And the reality of the matter is, if we don't believe this ourselves, and that's the same in every walk of life, it's not just to do with fertility. We all know, if you wake up, for example, in a bad mood, you're negative, feeling a bit down, which is really easy to do at the moment because of this lockdown and the way that the world is and COVID, our day goes like that, and then our week can go like that. And it's not until we change something or we wake up in a different mindset that it changes. Well, these can change our mindset. If we say and read this to ourselves each day, we can make a huge difference in the way that we think, the way that we tackle the day, the way we feel, our positivity. So these are available from now. I've worked really hard on each message because I wanted to believe and see what the message was going to do. It's not just about putting a message out there that's generic to people and then not really seeing what it's going to make a difference. So every single message is from here for me that would have been something that I wanted and needed at the time. And there's things in there about how strong we are, how brave we are. Even things like, for example, I am a strong, beautiful, sexy, feminine woman, because I've made no secret to the fact that I felt like I lost all femininity when we were trying to conceive. I put this label and tag on myself that I couldn't do what other women could do, so therefore I wasn't the same. And I almost put other women on a pedestal and me down here. So it's a lot about ourselves, it's declaring ourselves ready and healthy for baby, and just really starting to put ourselves in the right place. So they're available to buy by commenting or messaging me, and they are also available on my Etsy shop as well, which I will pop the link on my bio and in the comments of this. So if you would like them, please let me know. I can get them out to you or order on Etsy. There will be some coming for IVF and IUI, and also these are available to be personalised. Obviously there is an additional charge to that, but if you want them personalised to you and your journey and the sayings that you want, again, it can be in PDF or, you know, physically done, laminated and made durable, and posted out to you. So please contact me, and let's just see what we can do with the positivity. Let's just start to see how much difference it makes, because I think if we ever need it, it's when we're trying to conceive. So I'm really proud of it. I've really took my time with it, and the impact of the messages and what they can help with. So please let me know what you think, and they're available to order from now. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Keep safe.